we have some big news coming in. There's going to be an unvault of multiple frames. Now, what an unvault means is that two frames that were previously inaccessible from regular drops will start dropping again. In this case, it's going to be Volt and Loki. Now, this is pretty cool because Volt hadn't been available for a while except for from Barrow, and you had to buy the V8 relics like the Axes and the Neos or whatever, and that was the only way that you could get Volt for a while. It was pretty profitable. He got up to like 200, 270 plat, maybe 300. The other big part of this is that Loki is coming back, and he hasn't been available since ooh, year and a half now, maybe 2 years. And before that, he hadn't been available since like 2013. So this is pretty exciting. For PC and Xbox One players, Volt and Loki are going to be available on April 30th. The other two consoles are going to get both of these frames a little slightly later. We can go over some of the stuff that the packs are going to come with, but it's not really that particularly important. All right, 1200 plat, yeah, cool. Some weapons, bow prime. Ah, damn it. Oh, not a prime. Yeah, that never really goes past 60 plat. Worm Prime, that one's kind of that one's pretty good. No, these are pretty good. Worm Prime, 9,000 mastery rank because you get the Sentinel, which is 6k, and then the weapon itself, which is another 3k. That's pretty good. Bow Prime, it's a staff, and it's not a Zaw, so haha. Cosmetics, cosmetics, and then you can get both of them separately. That's cool. Oh yeah, here you go. Nintendo Switch and PS4 April 30th. Oh, hmm, that's nice. So everything, if you're in America, is opening on April 30th. For everyone else, looks like you get to wait a little bit. And then it would appear that, oh, they're closing on July 2nd. All right, that's pretty good. So this is the official post. They also posted this on Twitter. April 30th. Yeah, there's not much more to see here. April 30th, ending on July 2nd. Then the most important thing here is to note what happened. What happened to the prices on Loki and Volt? Well, we'll see. I sold several set. Yikes. Okay. Um. Ooh, that is almost half of the value lost in Loki Prime. Thankfully, I was able to sell all of my Loki Prime sets for about 350 plat, and from recollection, they didn't really get past 400. A lot of high level players will swear by Loki, but that's also because they're too afraid to actually do anything else and to get hurt. Loki doesn't have that much of a role besides doing spies right now, and while he does have a lot of CC with his radial disarm, his 4, it's not that helpful compared to, say, Frost or Rhino, who actually stops the mobs, or even Oberon, who slams the mobs, or Mag, who also slams the mobs. But being able to disarm and irradiate mobs is pretty cool. But incidentally, his biggest role outside of spies is to make certain missions faster. The biggest role here was when you did the Plague Star, there's an escort part of the mission, and Loki could switch teleport himself to make the drone go quite a bit faster. It would get much further along. If you built for range, well, you would skip several hundred meters at a time. But let's take a look here. Pretty much from the moment of announcement, yeah, 180. The moment of announcement, it must have happened right about here, 11 o'clock today, the 23rd. Yikes. Yep, here you go, median 367. So if you're able to sell this for anywhere between 350 and 400, you made out at the right time. It's been a long time since Loki had been. Yeah, yeah. It's been a long time since Loki has been available. I'd argue he pretty much maxed out at 375. I saw him at 400 for a week or so, but then he went back down a little bit for a couple of the reasons mentioned. It's because people don't really use Loki in high level missions. Plague Star is not represented in the last 90 days, so the price of Loki would not go up because that's one of the missions that he really makes faster. And then, of course, he just crashes down until today. Well, let's take a look at Volt. Volt is pretty much good at everything, though. Volt has a role in every mission. Eidolons, he's useful. Speedrunning missions, he's useful. ESO and farming fishers, he's useful. For different reasons, of course, but what do we say? The most important thing about Volt is he has extra base mana. And that's pretty good, because he's a freaking spellcaster. But yikes. Oh, Loki didn't seem to fare as badly as Volt. This guy... Yeah, okay, whatever. 215. Let's say that's the real price. He didn't suffer as much as Loki did, but here's the question. Was he 400 plat? And in the 48 hours? No. 300. Maybe 350? No, not even. The best he got up to was 300. 300. Ooh. So for about a month here, he was a little closer to 350 in actual value, and this represents the range of stuff that the range of actual sells. So yeah, I'd say 350 for Volt. He didn't drop nearly as bad. He's going to be Volt is in much higher demand than Loki, I would argue, and the graph represents that what I'm saying is the correct hunch. But I'm surprised he never got past 300, or rather, he hasn't been above 300. He's good at everything. But let's take a look at Bow Prime. Bow Prime set. Bow Prime set. 100 plat. I'd never been able to finish in much more than a couple sets of these. I think the last one I don't even remember the last time I sold this. So 100 plat, 150 plat. Ooh, wait, is that today? Well, that's quite the anomaly. So none were sold after the reset, but at 2 o'clock somebody sold one for 165? Not a whole lot of sets got sold anyway. Basically one an hour. And here's the spike right here, which represented last night. So a couple of these got bought last night, but pretty much nothing after the announcement. So this more represents a lack of supply rather than a increase or decrease in demand. This is volatile shit. But let's take a look at what it was 90 days. It was going up in the last 90 days, bottoming out at 130. So Bo didn't really lose much here. Somewhere between 150 and 200. But now people will be lucky if you can sell it for 100. Because it's going to be available again, and it's not that great of a weapon. Let's see. Worm Prime. Worm Prime. 150. Let's take a look. Trends. Yeah, it crashed. Lost half the value. They were selling for 200. Now it's selling for 100. A couple more of these got sold. More than one an hour than the Bow Prime. Worm is cool. But it's not Carrier, it's not Helios, and it's not a cat. I mean, what else can you really say about it? And then the last one, the last weapon, was Odinata Prime. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure this never really goes below or above 60. Really? 100? Really? Oh, what happened here? Oh, well, low demand. Probably low supply as well. Odinata tends to get ducated a lot because it never really gets the value. The last time I sold one, I sold it for 60. And that was like a while ago. Huh. Wow. Odinata went all the way up to 100. Oh, well, I'm guessing that the reason for this is because Archwing is getting more popular. You did need to level up Archwing and stuff ever since they introduced Profit Taker. So you know what? I'll chalk that up. That's my bad. I'm working on old information. I'm old. 65. Ugh, that's quite the low point, but a little higher than I expected. Did this crash at all? Lost a little bit of value, but not so much. Supply's all right, but yeah. So to review, Loki and Volt are coming back on April 30th if you're in the North Americas, and they are leaving on July 2nd. The other regional consoles will get them later. And that's pretty cool. I'm thankful. I personally was able to sell my Loki sets right before the announcement. I was hoping that they would go up a little bit higher to 400 before I sold them, but I caved, and you know what? Plat is plat. And sometimes when you are, oh, what's that word? Sometimes when you're speculating about prices, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. That's the name of the game. Alright, guys. I'll see you later.